All right, so we're going to look at how to do gram to mole problems using for every statements. So first it says, look at your periodic table and write down where this number at the top comes from. So 1 mole of CR weighs 52 grams. So if you look at your periodic table, it's that bottom number there, and that says that's the atomic mass. So it's the atomic mass is where you find that. So whenever you need this conversion factor, you're going to use the atomic mass. So now it says write a for every statement for the mass of CR. So my for every statement would be for every 1 mole of CR, there are 52 grams of CR. So that's my for every statement. So now I'm going to use that for every statement to solve the following problems. So I'm going to recopy my for every statement. For every 1 mole of CR, there are 52 grams of CR. Again, the for every statement doesn't change. And now, in fact, I am going to recopy it for every one of these below. And the reason I'm going to do that and do all of those in red is the big idea here is the for every statement doesn't change. The for every statement always stays the same. So notice I have this in red to distinguish. This is a fixed value. This is what comes from that atomic mass on the periodic table. Now to solve the problem, I'm now going to look at the information given. So it says for the first one, determine how many moles would be in 104 grams of CR. So I'm going to line up 104 grams of CR under the grams of CR here. To go from 52 to 104, I multiply by 2. So I'm going to multiply this side by 2, and I'm going to get 2 moles of CR. So what I wrote in blue came from the problem statement. Let's try the next one. It says use that for every statement and determine how many grams, so I'm trying to solve for grams here, would be in 104 moles of CR. So I line up the moles, so I write 104 moles of CR. And so now to go from 1 to 104, I multiply by 104. So 104 times 52 is 5,408 grams of CR. Is going to be my answer. So notice on these two problems, they were both 104, but very different answers because the first one was 104 grams of CR. So I line up the 104 grams under 52 grams. And this other one, it's 104 moles, so I line up 104 moles under the moles of CR. For the next one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, use my for every statement to determine how many moles would be in 0.104 grams of CR. So it becomes a little more difficult when it's not a nice round number. And so what number, 52 times what number will give me 0.104? And so when I divide 0.104 by 52, I get 0.002. So if I multiply this by 0.002, I'm going to end up 0.002 moles of CR. 0.002 moles of CR. So it's the same process there. On this last one, it's 0.45 moles of CR. So I line up under moles, 0.45 moles CR. So to go from 1 to 0.45 is I multiply by 0.45. So I take 52 times 0.45 and I get 23.4 grams of CR is my answer there. So this is how I'm going to solve these problems using for every statements. Big idea, the for every statement doesn't change. The only thing is from the problem I get what I'm solving for, and then I use the same for every statement for all of these.